guess I'd like to start off talking about you individually as an artist, what you're trying to do artistically, how you see yourself, how you do it.
Well, I guess I basically fancy myself as a storyteller and, kind of a bit of a night watchman or a private investigator, I sleep with one eye open, and I write and about the things I see around me.
You have become that person. At first it was more of an observation, and you became that character that you talk about in your songs through living it. Do you relate to that?
Yeah, well, she's right. It's a dangerous business. As far as being a character in my own stories, I remain in all of the stories, but at the same time, I think the creative process is like it's like gumbo. It's a combination of imagination and experience and memories, and by the time the story is finished or the song is finished, it may or may not resemble where the story came from.
Do you write poetry a lot, or do you see very many poets or contemporary poets around the country now?
No, I don't get out much. I'm working all the time, and I'm doing one-nighters and leaving after the gig and getting into town in the afternoon and going to a sound check, and so I don't really go out to clubs much. When I get some time to myself, I usually could use about 12 hours of sleep. When you work, in theaters and clubs all the time, when you get a couple of nights off, you usually don't want to go out to a club. You kind of want to lay around and watch television.
You don't get much sleep, I don't imagine. You don't get much time to do what you want to do.
Yeah, I find time when I'm home, to try and relax. It's, build up a great deal of anxiety on the road that you have to kind of learn how to unwind when you get back home,
Do you have any philosophies or any tenets about writing, about composing, about your, looking at things, the way you see things and you interpret them, put them down on paper?
Yeah, never sleep with a girl named Ruby and never play pool with a guy named Fats.
What did you do when you were younger? Can you talk about your childhood a little bit? How you got into music and poetry, and was there any one startling revelation that hit you one day and you realized that you had a vision and you had to find that vision?
No, it was nothing like that. Nice try. Wasn't nearly as romantic as that, I just kind of narrowed it down. There wasn't anything else that I wanted to do, Everything else looked real unattractive to me. Fireman, baker, policeman, I'm a living, breathing example of success without college, I had a normal childhood. Worked a lot of jobs. When I was 14, I started working. And when I was 16, I got a car. I started, staying out after dark a lot.
What doing?
Oh,
Well, listen, hey man, I appreciate you coming along. This is the second time around, and this guy's a hell of a guy for doing this again. Really, I appreciate it.